Right, so welcome back to my Ayrton Senna driver career mode. Now, last episode at Silverstone, I had an absolute flyer. Just a great race from myself. It wasn't a great spectacle, but just, leading all the way, being very consistent and very, very fast. And at that track, I have never had a good result ever in any YouTube series, but last episode changed everything as I took home a P1. Now in the standings, because of that result, I took the championship lead over Max Verstappen by 4 points. 4 points. Now, I just want to address something. Look at the results. P1, P3, 113, 11. Like, what's happened there then? I've got severe PTSD from Spain now because of that episode, but today at Hungary we're going to be looking to extend that championship lead over Max Verstappen. We could also hope that Lando Norris can get up the order. He's done a great double overtake at Silverstone to take a podium. He's only 30 odd points away from P3. I think that is very, very doable. And in the Constructors' Championship we also lead Red Bull by 3 points, so it is extremely close, and we are already 8 rounds in. We are 8 rounds into this championship, and there is a 4-point lead in the drivers and a 3-point lead in the constructors. Let's get to Hungary and tackle quali. Boom. Well, this is a bit awkward. There's a cutscene playing. I have no idea what it's about, but because I have voices audio off, I don't know what they're saying. So you can hear all the atmosphere of, people walking by, machines working, but these people are just on mute. It's very awkward. Finally, those two have shut up. My goodness, I couldn't hear them anyway, which was technically a blessing, because they did not shut up for a good 3 minutes, you know what I mean? Anyway, here we are in quali. Now, I used to do this thing where I set an expectation on myself, and I say something stupid like, today, I want to aim for a top 5, but realistically, I'm in a title battle with none other than Max bleeding Verstappen. I need to get P1 no matter what, and if I can't get P1, there's no point setting an expectation, just drive the car and do as good as I can. It's that simple. So, as always, we'll be doing 2 whole hot laps. 2, I know, not 1, not 3, but 2 hot laps in this session, and let's have it. Alright, so here we go for hot lap number 1. Now, what I'm going to do for quali is that I had learned something. In quali, for some reason, on brand new softs and low fuel, you should have the diff really low. I don't know if that's just me and the way I drive, but I feel like when you have low differentials in a quali run, the oversteer is there's not a lot of oversteer. And that's my main issue in this game so far, is that I have extreme oversteer with any setup. But then, going into the race, I'm going to increase it back up. So that's the strategy for that. Through Sector 1, I'm going to be half a second up on Pierre Gasly, which doesn't really mean a whole lot, because, he's in an Alpine. Now, I will say that I have struggled through Sector 2 at this track. Yesterday, I did an episode of My Team Career Mode at this track, and it was not good, because I was having many struggles through Sector 2. If I was Sergio Perez right now, I would not shut up going about how the car is out of balance. Anyway, out the penultimate corner. It's not been a horrible lap, not much to gain. It's been alright, pretty bog standard. We come across the line and it is going to be a P1 for Ayrton Senna. That is exactly what we need. Especially because, as you can see, we are ahead of Max Verstappen. That's all that really matters. As long as we're ahead of Verstappen, whether if he's in P10, I want to be P9. And that's the way we're kind of working at the moment. But, being P1, quality stuff. Let's get back to the garage, new boots, and see if I can find any more lap time to fully solidify the pole position. Oh, that's filthy. So at the moment, we have a 3/10 lead over Max Verstappen. You can see I prevail through the first and third sectors. In fact, my Sector 1 is 2 whole tenths quicker than anyone else throughout, the entire leaderboard. But in Sector 2, honestly, I'm sort of there. I am, faster than everyone except my teammates. So that's uplifting. And in the final sector, I'm also, slightly faster than everyone, but that Sector 1 is gruesome. Honestly, I don't even think I can find any more lap time. Of course, I'm going to try to, but I'm just going to hope more so that Verstappen can't improve over me improving. But let's find out. Let's see. Right, I've gone and found a 10th and a half through Sector 1. That was a very good Sector 1 as well, I won't lie to you. I tell you what, every single time I get into this car and film an episode, it puts a smile on my face. This car is so amazing to drive as I go a little bit wide. I don't know, I can't really explain it. It's just a really good car, do you know what I mean? I mean, it is the fastest on the grid, so that's probably why, but it just feels so nice and drivable. And as I come out the final corner, it's going to be 2.5 temps found, which, you know, bog standard at this point, you know what I mean? My goodness, an easy pole position here in Hungary. What a time to be alive. Pole position for Ayrton Senna, aka me, Futimus Crematus III, and it is going to be a McLaren 1-2 with Lando Norris pipping Verstappen by 30 milliseconds. We love that from him. That puts an extra car in between me and Verstappen, and obviously we can now play a bit of a team game to keep him behind. Unfortunately for Verstappen, his teammate is Sergio Perez. So, that should tell you what you need to know. But, you know, half a second, 4 attempts ahead of my teammate in P2. What a time to be alive. The only driver to get into the 1 minute 13s. That's a fantastic result. Let's get into race day and extend this championship lead. Come on. And here we are on race day for the Formula 1 Hungarian Grand Prix 2024. It's a beautiful, beaming bit of sunshine out on track today, which I'm looking forward to. I can't stand the rain at this circuit. It's not fun now. What I will say is it is absolutely crucial that I managed to get that pole position. Of course, it wasn't really close, but my point is, at this track, it is notoriously difficult to overtake. In fact, in my My Team Career Mode last episode, yesterday, I only managed 1 overtake in the entire race, and that was on the final lap because of a full send dive bomb. So, starting on pole position means that it should be very difficult for drivers around me to get an overtake done. Now, what is going to dictate this race, whether I finish first, second, third, or whatever, is the race start. It needs to be good, and I need to keep P1 on this opening lap. And here we go, for round number 9 of this Senna career mode. I need a good start. Is it going to be a good start? There's a bit of wheel spin, but that looks alright. And let's get away. Who's this geezer? Fernando Alonso with a Spain 2012-esque start, but it ain't enough. I managed to hold on to P1, and we are away. Now, Lando Norris had an absolute stinker, dropping from P2 to P4. Actually now, fighting with Russell for P5 and 6. What is going on? Norris loses out. Oh my, and now he's back past him. They go 3 wide back there. What is happening? I have no idea. Max Verstappen stays in P3, so I'm hoping that Fernando Alonso can sort of, you know, keep him behind. And now I'm going to up my differential. And honestly, I can kind of chill a little bit. The only threat I'm really going to have is Fernando Alonso with DRS down the straight, but I mean, I could just harvest ERS for that, so I should be good. So it's the fastest lap for me, Ayrton Senna. Lando Norris back up to P4. I have no idea what's going on behind me. Like, Norris, Russell, and Hamilton having a triple Brit, absolute feed-face scrap-up. I have no idea what's going on. And you can actually see, because of their fight, it's sort of singling out me, Alonso, and Verstappen. As you can see, you know, there's 2 seconds between Verstappen and Norris now, so I guess it's just between us 3. And of course, having Alonso right behind me is absolutely massive. Right, so it's another fastest lap for me, but Alonso goes and beats it by 0.2 of a second. Here he comes, he's going to go for a move around the outside, but it's so easy for me to defend because of just the way this track works. So, you know, pretty easy to hang on to P1. And now we vibe. Right, Fernando Alonso is a bit closer to me this time, a lot closer than I'd like him to be. He's going to go for a move to the outside, but once again, I've just got that inside line, making overtaking, you know, next to impossible. And now I can use a bit of hot lap ERS to get away out of turn 1, and that's really all it takes to keep Alonso behind. It really isn't that difficult, but what I will say is, you know, he's sticking with me, as is Verstappen. And I'd say that if they were ahead of me, they would be a lot quicker than I am. That's why it was so important that I got this P1. If I started like P2 or P3 or if I had a bad start and went down to P2 or P3, I probably wouldn't have been able to get back those positions on track. For some odd reason, my race pace around this place is shocking. But you know, we're in P1. Like I said, we're absolutely chilling. And we'll go from there. Right, now here's a little conundrum. My strategy says I need to pit on lap 11. Now, from the My Team Career Mode video yesterday, I tried an undercut by pitting on lap 10, and it didn't really work. So honestly, I might even go for an overcut. Here comes Alonso though, he's actually going to get ahead of me before the corner, but it just isn't enough to get past me because I have that inside line. But I think that's going to be my strategy, is maybe go for an overcut if my tyres are still fast. Of course, we are still 4 or 5 laps away from when I'm supposed to pit. If my tyres aren't very good at that point, I'll obviously go in on lap 11, but if they're alright, I'll stay out an extra lap. Although look how poor my front left is. Already on 26%. Meanwhile, my front right is a whole 10% lower than that. Like I always say though, I am nowhere near technically smart enough to understand how to stop that happening so that my tyres wear at an equal rate. I don't really understand it, but let's just wait and see. Something slightly concerning is that I'm running out of ERS to defend with. I need to use about 40 to 50% down the main straight so that Alonso doesn't overtake me. I'm running out of like that much to use. I need this pit window to open very, very soon. Starting to struggle with a lot of oversteer now. That isn't because of like the setup or the car. That's my tyres starting to wear. You know, the different oversteers, like sometimes you can fix it by changing the diff. This is, you know, when the tyres start to really go. Especially the front left, I'm sliding a lot out of left corners. Out of right corners, I'm sort of okay. But look, I've only got 60% ERS left. I need to use, like, you know, 50 of that to just not get overtaken. Very, very difficult to manage, but I am doing it. And we're looking good so far. Just gotta keep it up. And actually, I'm not entirely sure what's just happened, but look at Lando Norris. And like everyone else. How is everyone else caught up? Am I that slow right now? Surely not, because, that is quite interesting. From me, all the way down to about P10 right now, everyone's caught up. So it seems I'm causing a bit of a traffic jam. Oh my goodness. Right, luckily for me though, I've only got 2 more laps until I'm stopping. So only 2 more laps of defending against Fernando Alonso before I get 1 lap of safety. And then I'm probably going to be defending all over again. I'm definitely going to stop on the lap that they want me to, which is going to be lap 11. My tyres are already going off quite massively. I could stop at the end of this lap. I just don't think the undercut is very strong. And here we have a mid-race goal of avoid the engine staying above 135 degrees. Now, I don't even understand how this works because my engine is 131. And so it says avoid staying above, but it's currently below. So, I don't get it. Can I just not read? But look, it says avoid it staying above 135. It's currently at 133, so why is it not counting? Anyway, I have decided to stay out 1 extra lap in this stint. Let's hope I make the right decision. Right, here we go, and as you can see, Alonso and Verstappen are both stopping as well, which means that means I'm going to have to defend from Alonso until the end of the race. Come on, we need a really good stop here. Actually, just an average stop, just no errors or anything. 2.4, that should be perfect. I'm going to come out ahead of Alonso, ahead of Verstappen. Everything is looking good. Only thing is I might have a bit of dirty air with the Sauber ahead, which is a bit concerning. I reckon I'll be alright. So now, it's purely trying to undercut the likes of Lando Norris ahead, just to extend that gap a little bit, and then it's the exact same thing I was just doing, which is just defending from Alonso. It'd also be quite handy if I could get some DRS off the cars ahead. They should be stopping this lap. So, you know, get a bit of DRS down the main straight, that would be nice. Lando Norris is going to stop now. I'm setting the fastest sector 2, so, you know, the hard tyres, they feel great at the moment. I know it's early doors, but grip central, I must say. So they go in. I should get DRS now, and I do. Let's go for a fastest lap. So I'm actually going to come out multiple seconds ahead of the cars that were only a second behind me before I stopped. So the undercut actually being very powerful there. And I don't know if there was a pit stop error of some kind, but Lando Norris is now all the way down in about P8. I don't know what's happened to him there. I wanted to try and break Alonso's DRS on this lap. It seems it's going to be very, very close. Come on. Yes! I actually don't have Alonso right behind me for a change. Only problem is, though, Verstappen might get by him now, but we are going to set a fastest lap of a 1 minute 15.6. That is very, very fast. There goes Max Verstappen trying to make a move on Fernando Alonso. Is he going to get it done? Fernando Alonso does have the inside line. They're going to continue to go wheel to wheel through the second DRS zone. You get the feeling Verstappen's just going to get it because he has the DRS and the inside line. They are still going wheel to wheel, though. It's not over yet. They are still wheel to wheel. David Croft be losing his mind. Alonso actually gets back past Verstappen at this stage. What is happening behind? And I believe Fernando Alonso has kept his place. What a driver. I'm honestly tempted to give Alonso DRS just so Verstappen doesn't get by and I get a bigger lead in the championship, but I'm not too sure yet. Let's see if Alonso can hold his own. Oh no! It looks like Max Verstappen has managed to get past Fernando Alonso here on lap 17. I'm hoping Fernando Alonso can fight back. He seems very fast, so we'll keep an eye on that. But as it stands right now, I would gain 8 points on Verstappen in the championship rather than 11. But hey, it's still a points gain, and we have another mid-race objective to achieve a lap time of a 19.4. I'm currently lapping in, you know, mid-16s, so that should be beyond easy. What's the level beyond easy? I have no idea. Right, final 3 laps of this race. Nothing has really happened since I last spoke to you about 2 seconds ago. What I can tell you is that Ayrton Senna himself would have been proud of this hard stint I've put in. My goodness, consistency is an understatement. And unfortunately, Fernando Alonso can't quite catch Max Verstappen. The gap is still only about 3 or 4 tenths. It's still doable. I just don't think he gets, you know, good enough exits out of the final corners to really go for a move. Oh, gone a bit wide. Honestly, though, I'm just staying consistent, and I'm bringing this one home. 2 laps remaining. The penultimate lap begins. Let's have it. Right, here we go. Final lap of this race. And, you know, it's been a pretty boring one to watch, I assume, because I've spent most of the race in P1. And actually, there's a slight chance it's going to be my first ever Grand Slam. I don't know if I was leading, though, after the, you know, the pit stops happened, but we'll have to go and check. But, you know, what a car this has been. On the mediums, I was okay, but I was struggling with oversteer. And as Sergio Perez would put it, balance. But for some reason, as soon as I bolted on these hard tyres, what a machine this car has become. As you can see, I've extended my lead out to 5 seconds. Unfortunately, Fernando Alonso hasn't managed to go for Max Verstappen and get by him. If it's me in that situation, I would send it like I'm silly, like I did in my team career mode. But this is still a very positive weekend. Like I said at Quali, you know, we need to, you know, just do as good as possible. Beat Max Verstappen. Get Max Verstappen out of here. That's what I've done. So round the final corner we come. And what a drive that is. Come on! What a fantastic result that is. Like I said, to watch, not much entertainment value. There was basically no racing at all. I just sort of drove out in front. But for me personally, what a drive. Fernando Alonso gets driver of the day. That just shows how boring of a race it was, because I believe he only gained like two positions in the entire race, and that was at the very start. So yeah, unfortunately, bit of a stinker for Lando Norris. He does still finish 4th, I believe. However, when you're starting P2, you'd like to finish P2, do you know what I mean? But what a fantastic result. And so here is your final finishing order. I convert a pole position to a P1, setting the fastest lap by 0.5 of a second on them brand new hard tyre. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Lando Norris dropped back heavily in the pit, so I thought P4 was stinky. My guy goes from P2 to P9 without incident. You know, like that was fully on merit. There wasn't like, you know, an unlucky safety car or an unlucky like yellow flag. That was all him. Wow, that's pretty crazy. So, you know, that ain't good for the constructors, but in the drivers, we now lead by 12 points over Max Verstappen. And what is very troubling is that obviously because Lando Norris finished 9th, aka behind every single car ahead of him in the drivers, he loses out to all of them. I was hoping that this weekend he might gain on a few, maybe overtake Perez and Hamilton, but they both finished ahead of him, so the gap just increases. And then we look at the constructors, we now actually lose. Wait, no, that's the same. It stays the same. Awesome. It stays at a 3-point gap after a whole race weekend. That is because we picked up 28 points, and obviously that means Red Bull also picked up 28 points. So, fantastic weekend all round. Pole position by 0.5 second, race win, and one thing I want to show you, to prove my consistency, of course, I didn't show much of that second stint because it was just me leading. Look at these lap times on the hard tyres. Look at that. What is that? Of course, when you get to about here, that's when, like, you know, up to... I did, like, 10 laps in a row of pure consistency, and then at this point, my tyres go off quite a lot. But look at that. You know, a 10th, 40 milliseconds, 10th, 10th, 10 milliseconds, 10th and a half. That's crazy. That consistency is some of the best I've ever done in this game. But anyway, that's going to be all from me today. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, like, subscribe, follow me on Twitch and Kick, all that stuff. I actually am streaming a lot more often on Kick and Twitch. So, you know, if you want to, you know, watch me live where I'm a lot less energetic because I don't have energy for that, then why not go follow me? Anyway, that's all from me. I'll see you next time. And ta-da. Come on!